Hello guys, in today's episode, before we begin make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out when we post. Karen trespassed and had a mental breakdown. I was walking my small dog on a leash before work like I do every day when two loose chihuahuas began barking and charged us. One was at my dog's face and the other at his tail. He immediately took up a submissive position, tail between legs, ears flat, head down. The two were growling, so I picked up my dog and the one at his tail tried to bite my hand. That same individual proceeded to jump up, still trying to reach my dog, while they both barked and snapped their jaws aggressively. My dog and I have both been bitten by loose dogs many times, so our anxiety was already skyrocketing. I gave the one that tried to bite me and to jump on me a half-assed kick with the top of my foot and they both shut up and left. A woman in her 40s came up behind me and said, "I don't think that was necessary at all. At all." I could tell by her tone that she was used to getting her way and was expecting an apology. Local law and apartment policy both require that dogs be on a leash. The landlord has had police over because of unleashed dogs. I told her as much and she tried to keep arguing for a while. Her argument was that I wouldn't want someone doing that to my baby, who is always on a leash and never attacking strangers. When that didn't work, she resorted to a barrage of swearing against me and my supposed size 12 feet. I actually wear size 9 shoes, but she was loud, so I guess I'll be wearing 12s from now on. Anyway, I suffer from severe anxiety and selective mutism and I could feel my voice about to give out, but I continued defending myself regardless. She gave up, told me take it up with your own spirit and left in a hurry. I was expecting her to go back to her apartment, the one I saw her come out of before this incident, but instead she let herself in the nearest apartment and had a mental breakdown inside. From outside I could hear her screaming, "Hello, hello, is anyone even here?" That was when I realized she was mentally unstable and she had already withdrawn from the argument, so I continued as I was before she provided her uneducated opinion. She didn't see me leave, but continued screeching into the void long after she was out of sight, and I was on the other side of the complex when I heard her scream, "This is an elderly person's pet and they're not even home." The man who lives in the apartment she invaded is in his 30s. TL Dr. Karen got mad at me for being attacked by two loose dogs. Thought loud equals right, thought it was okay to enter someone else's home without permission because she was mad and it's what she wanted to do. Had my first run-in with a Karen at Costco. So I was at Costco with two of my roommates yesterday. It was a Sunday, so it was flooding with people. We took two carts cause we were shopping and paying separately and not going through self-checkout. My friend took her cart first to the checkout lane, and there were another family before her and a lot of people walking in the back near the aisles close to the lanes, so my other friend and I stood behind her, with cart diagonal to us. A man entitled Man, M, probably in his early 30s comes behind us and puts his cart there. M: "Are you all together?" Me: "Yes." M: "Are you gonna be on the same receipt? Cause I see two carts." Me: "We're all together but gonna pay separately cause we shopped separately." M: "Okay, so the line starts in the back. By this time there's somebody else behind him too." Me: "Excuse me? We have been here before you, right behind that family in the front and just put the cart to the side. We were literally holding it, cause there were a lot of people moving." M: "Okay, but you are different receipts and your cart is not in line and I have a kid waiting." Points at his wife and kid who were standing to the side because he broken bar. Guess what? A broken bar, there was no place. Me: "Alright, move back, I'll place my cart in line." M: "Okay, but you're gonna listen to a kid crying soon." Me: "Okay, yeah, sure, not my problem. You should have finished shopping sooner than if." M just sighs and walks to the other lane. The cashier asks what was that all about and literally said the same thing what I told him and said he was just being a weirdo. My friend finishes her checkout first, grabs those boxes at the exit and keeps them in the cart and just went outside and then starts putting the items in the box in 10A degrees F, 12A degrees C, weather. When we asked why she couldn't do it inside like us, She then told me that guy walked to her at the box area and called us DKS, to which she replied he was one and left cause he was just saying some shit. After a year, people are taking my side. There's a specific girl who has been friends with almost all of my friends. We ended up in the same class, and she proceeded to make me absolutely miserable. She screamed at me for so many pointless things, and then did the exact same pointless things. The closest it got to physical was her grabbing onto my arm with her long ass nails and clenching her hand hard. She was trying to get me to move backwards to talk to her or something. I yanked my arm away and ran ahead to class. The two worst incidents were the one and the Chinatown one. I started an outing at Chinatown with friends, and against my better judgment, invited her. When I was talking to her, she started saying how she needed some kind of plan. Since I'm not an organized person, I asked her if she could lay out a plan and then we could with that. She did, and we were off. As we were all walking towards Chinatown, she started panicking about finding a place that would seat all of us. We're kids. Despite me explicitly telling her that if she wanted a plan, she could make one and I'd work with it, she decided to start yelling at me. It was your idea, you should have come up with a plan. There was a plan, you were supposed to make it. Chewed me out about planning loudly on the street in front of my friends, and didn't give me a chance to justify myself. None of my friends said anything. Once I got home, I ended up crying for almost an hour. The second was a game of with random classmates. I could see cards because we were squished in a small circle. Trying not to cheat, I spent most of my energy finding a vantage point that wouldn't let me see cards. Whenever I missed my turn, she'd shriek at me for it. Eventually I broke down and ran to the bathroom to cry. I couldn't even do that, because I bumped into someone there. My teacher sent me into a different room for the rest of the period. Me and her have had a conversation where we both agreed that we hated each other. When I told her why I disliked her and cited the incident, she laughed and told me she was just especially mad and didn't apologize. I was livid but too scared to do counter. It's been a year, and we are in different classes. This year, I gained enough confidence to start taking action. She tried to come along with me and two friends to a new mall. Luckily, one of my friends knew about my grudge against her, and politely refused for me. The next time she asked to come along with a different group, I told her hell no. I hate you. That particular outing, we revealed where we were going before she got turned down. Lo and behold, she followed us there and we saw her multiple times while we were walking or in a shop. The friends I were with actually supported me unlike before, and expressed that they were also angry with her and thought the stalking was creepy. Just a few days ago, I went to a birthday outing with a girl and her friends. She was invited, but asked to be invited before she was asked to come formally. A few hours before we left, she invited along another person, without telling the host of the birthday party. The host let her come, but seemed really let down. After they both left, I openly expressed my discontent about it, and talked a bit about my grudge because it came up in conversation. The host and another friend of mine both told me that they were mad at her for her treatment towards her. I've run the math in my head. She's been rude to most people who have approached her, so making new friends might be hard for her. After a year, people have actually begun to tell me that they're not happy with how she acted around me, including our friends. People are beginning to dislike her, and I feel a bit of a sick satisfaction knowing that her friends support me more than her. At this point, I'm done with taking shit and would gladly ruin her life for a year like she ruined mine. So watching her friends turn away from her gives me no guilt. I don't care if I'm being nice or not. She's lost the privilege of kindness in my eyes. Tifu being too excited about spices. This happened before I found this sub, but it seemed worth sharing. Definitely a Tifu. I love the smell of spices. Going to the spice shop is a real treat. I have a spice rack that takes up most of my pantry door, and I love the way my pantry smells with all the herbs and spices and things in it. I will go in just to smell it. Also, I grow a lot of my own vegetables. One year one planted a cayenne pepper plant. I figured I'd get some hot peppers for things. but I had no idea how prolific they were. I gave peppers away to anyone who'd take some. I put peppers in any dish that could use them, and still I had more. So, I had the idea to string them all up on fishing line and hang the line in the pantry to dry. There were probably about 70 peppers on this string. I didn't want to waste them, so I chose to preserve them. They dried, and I thought, I guess I'll crush them up to make crushed red pepper flakes. I crushed one with my mortar and pestle, and then said nah, screw this, and got my food processor to do them all at once. I pulsed them up in the food processor, and it worked beautifully. Looking into the chamber, I saw a sort of red aerosolized mist. I guess some of the peppers had been fully powderized. And I thought, I wonder what that spice smells like. So I pulled the lid off, put my face next to the top, and took a big sniff. Obviously, in retrospect, it was basically aerosolized capsaicin. In other words, pepper spray. My eyes started burning, my sinuses and lungs hurt. I couldn't stop coughing. I tried to wash my face over and over but couldn't get it to stop. I had no milk. It took forever to feel normal again. TL doctor, I tried to make my own crushed red pepper and accidentally on purpose pepper sprayed myself. Thanks for sticking around till the end. Don't forget to subscribe for more like this.